Welcome back to Drupal Academy. This is part 3 of our JSON API series. In previous episode, we explored JSON API basics, fields, sorting, includes, filters, pagination, and the full workflow. In this video, we are diving into something extremely powerful, that is the JSON API Extra module. With this JSON Extra API module, we can customize our endpoint URLs. We can hide fields from the API, expose only specific bundles to the end users. We can rename the resource types, control what your front end can or cannot access, and override JSON API global settings. If you want clean, front-end friendly APIs for React, Vue, Flutter, or mobile apps, you will absolutely love this episode. So let's get started. First, we will see what is JSON API Extra module. JSON API Extras is a contributed module in a Drupal that gives you full control over your JSON API endpoints. Out of the box, JSON API exposes everything automatically, but many production projects need API customizations. For example, you may want to hide sensitive fields, hide entire content types, provide shorter, cleaner API path, rename resource types for front-end team, or disable resource you don't want to expose. So, JSON API Extras lets us to do exactly that. So first step is we will download the JSON API Extras module. For that, go to the Drupal org's page, project/JSON API Extras, and scroll down. Copy this command, composer require Drupal/Drupal API _extras, and paste it in your git bash, and you can download that. If you want to download this manually, you need to take extra care because this module is depend on one more library, that is e0ipso/sharper. You can find that dependency inside the composer.json file of JSON API _extras modules. Open this composer.json file and you will see this library. If you download this module manually, then you need to download this library as well. So recommended way is to download this module using composer require command. It will automatically download that library as well. If you download it manually, download this dependent library as well and paste it in your vendor folder. Like here in the vendor folder, you can see this is that library. Once you download this module, go back to the Drupal backend, go to the extents, search for the JSON, and from here you can install these both modules, that is JSON API Extra and the JSON API defaults. So this JSON API default is also now part of JSON API Extra module. It is now the sub module inside the JSON API Extra. Scroll down and click on install. Now these two modules are installed successfully. So before that, in the last video we have seen how we access our endpoints, that is using this URL, the project name /JSON API_node_article. I will click on and it will now show the nodes from the article content type. So right now you can see the URL. Using JSON Extra module, we can modify these things, and we will see in this video what we can do using JSON API's Extra module. For that, again go to backend of your Drupal, click on configuration in the web services, click on the JSON API. After that, click on this tab JSON API Extras. Here you can see The default prefix is JSON API. If you want to change it to just /API, we can add that path here. If you want to include the count in a collection queries, for that you can check this checkbox so that it will include the counts as well. So I will show you that. Click on save configuration. The configurations are saved. Now go to our endpoint and now change this endpoint to /API/node/article and hit the enter. The same data will be available on this endpoint. Also, if you search for the count, it will return the count of total nodes available. Here you can see in the meta count equal to 7, which we have enabled from this setting, include counts in collection queries. Now for more settings, click on resource overrides. On this page you can see the list of all available resources, but we will check the article resource for now. If you want to override this article resource, for that click on override button. The first section is disable. If you want to disable this particular endpoint, you can just click on this disable checkbox so that it will not be available, and if you hit this API it will show you the 404 page. Next is the resource type. Right now in the resource type you can see node --article. If you want to change this resource type, you can change it, like we will keep just article. Next setting is resource path. We will remove this node from the resource path. We will keep just API/article because this path looks standard and easy to remember. We will save this setting. The configurations are saved. Go to our endpoint and remove this /node. Now its path looks something clean and better. Front-end developers love this path. Hit this endpoint. So here you can see the data is available on our this new endpoint, and we have changed the type as well, resource type as article, by replacing node --article. I will show you some extra settings. For that we will override this article resource type. So once you override it, it will show as a overwritten with the orange background. Click on this edit button. Sometimes you don't want to expose all fields. Maybe you have internal fields, those you don't want to expose. The JSON API extras allows you to hide any field from the API response. Here you can see the body field. We are getting the data in the body field, but now I don't want to expose this body field, and this changed it into my API response. For that I will click this checkbox, body, and the change field, and click on save. Refresh this endpoint. In the response we will not get now the body field. I will search for the body. Here you can see we are not getting body field data, and the change date, here we are getting just created. In this way we can hide the fields, those we don't want to expose. Go to our resource dashboard, edit this. I will show you some extra settings as well. If you want to change the field's name, like the title field we have, if you want to set any different name, you can change that name by adding in this text box. Now scroll down and click on this collection. Right now in this response we are not getting the images path. Here you can see we are not getting image path. For that video we have seen included section. If you want the extra field details, you can add those fields. We can get that image details by adding field underscore image. Same way, if you want the associated tags as well, for that you can add field underscore tags. Again scroll down, click on save, go back to our endpoint, refresh it. Now you will get the image detail and the tags details as well in the response. Those will be available in the included section. Image path. For tags, scroll down, go to the tags section, taxonomy terms hyphen tags. Here we are getting the tags details as well. Next setting is click on this edit button in a particular order on the basis of particular field. So as given here, the syntax, I want to sort data by default by the title field in the descending order. For that, add these details, mention the field name and the direction, in which direction you want. Click on save button. So before that I will show you the first node. Its title is now showing Twitter. Now again I will refresh this, so it should show us that this article data in the descending order on the basis of the title. Scroll down, check the title field. Here we are getting the welcome to Drupal. It starts with the W. Scroll down, next one is the Twitter. So we are getting node data in the descending order on the basis of the title field. For that again click on this edit button, scroll down and go to the collection section. I want to by default show the filter data on the basis of the title field, and the value I will set as a first article. So this is the title of one of my article. It is mentioned that if request contains and filter query string parameters, those filters will be added to the default. So these added filters will be get override if we pass custom filters from the parameters. So again save it, refresh our article endpoint. It should show us the single node data with the title of first article. Here you can see we are getting this single article. For that we have added the filter in the jsonapiextras model settings. So the important point is when to use jsonapiextra versus core JSON API. Use core JSON API when you want instant API with no configuration, you trust frontend to manage the complexity, you are okay with machine names in the API, you are building the internal app. And when to use the JSON API extra, you want clean endpoints like this API/article. You want to hide or rename fields, like we hide the body field and the change field from this response. You want the front-end friendly APIs. For that we can use the JSON extra APIs module. That's all for this part 3 of our JSON API. You have learned how to use JSON API extras and JSON API's defaults to take full control over your API, customize path, hide sensitive fields, rename resources, create front-end ready endpoints. If you learned something new today, hit the like button, subscribe to the Drupal Academy, and share your questions in the comment section. Thank you for watching and see you in the next tutorial.